Okay, so we're gonna cross over to the lovely Fiona.
Hey everybody, I'm Fiona, or also known as Fat Cat. I'm fat, and this is my cat, my crazy all-Muslim Thermomix. So I'm going to do a few little recipes for you tonight to get us all started and warmed up. Now, a lot of us are mums. I have a 13 and 11-year-old. Oh, sorry, by the way, I'm based in Milford in Auckland. And I absolutely love my Thermomix because I got into it. I became a bit complacent with my cooking. I became the meat and 3-veg mum because it just became easy. And now I'm into my curries, my risottos. I'm doing a lot of stuff that I normally wouldn't cook, and it's simple and quick and easy and really a huge time saver for me, and I can spend a lot more time with my children. So as a mum, one of the things is by the end of the day and you're going to cook, so you kind of just want that little chill out moment. Right, normally a glass of wine, but I'm going to show you something a little bit different that we can do in the Thermomix. So last night I made the sweet and sour pork. I have some pineapple left over, so I'm going to show you a very quick and easy pina colada because it's summertime, and why don't we? So I've put the pina colada recipe up on my TM6 that I have here. I'm going to start my cooking. Right. So because there's only me here tonight, I don't want to make the whole recipe. So as you know, you don't have to sit there and go exactly measurements the whole way through. So it's just me. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm only going to do, I'm just going to get my ice out the freezer. So I'm just doing quarters. So where it says 500 grams of ice cubes, I'm going to put 125 in. I'm literally just going to quarter everything. Right, hit the next button. It wants 500 grams of fresh pineapple. Here's my 125 grams fresh pineapple. Next, it wants 100 to 150 grams of caster sugar. So I've only just sort of put about 40 grams in there. 35. Hit the next button. Insert my measuring cup into my lid. I put that one on there. Close your ears, it's a little bit noisy because of the ice cubes. And where it's gone 2 minutes on a speed 5.
So what the machine? You're good, check. So while that's blending ice, I just want to know what other sorts of things people are making in there.
Right. I can hear that it's mainly processed, so I'm going to stop it off now. I'm going to pretty well now. So I can stop it early because I can hear it. I'm just going to hit the next button. I'm going to add 400 grams. That one over there. As you can see, it's looking really good. Nice pulp on it. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this great little sucker down at the supermarket. It's only 165 mils, so they're really quick and easy, and you don't have to waste a whole can of coconut milk. Open that one up. And, oh, look, she's dirty already. I'm just going to tar it to get it down to 0. I'm going to put 100 grams in because I'm only doing a quarter of the mixture. And there we go. Hit the next button. Now, this is where, if you don't want to, because we're all family friendly here, you can have that as a version and we'll put the lid on. But I don't have the kids tonight, so I'm just going to go a little bit all out. Says 180 grams. Should I put the 180 grams in? Oops,
you do you, boo. No one's watching.
No one's watching. I'll put a bit more in. So that should really be 45 grams. Oops, I've got a heavy hand, so I accidentally got 80. I'm a bit naughty like that. And then I know that we're going to put the lid back on, hit the next button, put the lid back on, and it's just going to now mix it for us for 5 seconds on 3. as quick and simple as that on a hot, kind of, it's still muggy, summer afternoon, we have a pina colada. Oh, and look, here's a glass I prepared earlier.
What have you popped on the top of your glass there, Fiona?
Just a little bit of coconut, as you would if you went to the bar, you felt like you're on holiday, with my cool straw.
How good does that look? Amazing.
Oh my God, that is so good. I feel like I should be in a pool right now with my bikini on. Hello.
You should be. Fantastic. So that's one dish. And what else are you going to get onto it for us?
Right. So, and this is the fantastic thing about having two bowls. So I've just used that and I have leftover mixture for a little bit later. So I can easily pull out my second bowl, throw my second bowl in. Now I'm going to start us off at the beginning of a dessert. So we'll come back to me at the end to see the ending of the dessert. But I'm going to do a chocolate eclair, a show pastry, because I want to show you this, because for me, I was always sort of taught growing up that this is a really hard recipe to make. You've got to sit there, you've got to labor over it, and often they fall flat and things like that. So the other thing I want to showcase is the fact that I have two children, both of them are gluten and dairy free. Now, whenever I go out or I go to friends' houses, I get a lot of people sort of saying to me, what do we make? What do we do? Because they don't know. It's overwhelming for people who don't have intolerances to understand what to take out. So what I want to showcase is that going to gluten and dairy free is really, really simple. You don't have to find a gluten and dairy free recipe. So I have got, it's going to come out of here because we've finished, and I finished that one. I'm going to show you the show pastry. So if you actually look at it, it actually, and I have it up here in the lovely recipe book. This is what I'm going to make. And it's a recipe that would have normally gluten and dairy in it. You would use dairy butter and you would use gluten flour. It's the same recipe. All I'm going to do is swap out the flour for gluten-free flour and the butter for Olivani. I prefer Olivani because it's got a better texture and I think tastes a lot closer to butter. So it's really, really simple. So you don't have to go finding all these different recipes for gluten and dairy free. You can just easily substitute. So again, I brought up show pastry on my TM6 cat here, and I hit the start cooking button. It wants 150. I'm going to clean the screen because she got a bit dirty. So we have 150 grams of water. We have the 80 grams of unsalted butter. So instead of butter, remember I'm using Olivani. It just goes in there like that. Next, a pinch of salt. A little salt thing there, pinchy, pinchy, off we go. Next, 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now this is optional. I do have a bit of a sweet tooth, so I do like a little bit of sugar in my show pastry. So this is a couple of teaspoons in there. I know I'm a bit of one of those cookers. A bit of this, a bit of that. Simmering basket instead of the measuring cup. I just need to get my other towel. I haven't used the paper. Benefits of having a second bowl, a second lid with my simmering basket on top. And so, hang on one second.
This is a remote.
That's just a reminder. Go, Alexa. So this is going to make it go 5 minutes at 100 degrees, and it's going to basically break down my butter with my water. So because I've got 5 minutes, if you like to, from here, I might swap over to somebody else and we can come back to me for the next step.
Perfect. Thanks, Fiona. And I love how much you put in that glass. I'm a bit of a pirate myself, so I love the old tipple of the rum. So we're going to be crossing over now to our lovely KJ, and she's up on the Whangaparaoa Coast Peninsula for us out in Orewa, and she's going to be taking us away with a beautiful chicken enchilada dish. So who's currently making enchiladas, you know, the old-fashioned way, or are you being brave and trying it in your Thermomix? And I'm just going to replace over to KJ, and we just needed an unmute check. Where is she gone? There she is. And just to unmute you, KJ love. Your apron looks good. Can you unmute? This is KJ's first Zoom, and she's going to do a fantastic job. I'm so excited.
I've got it. Okay.
All right.
Let's go. My son made the first dish in our Thermomix. It was the enchiladas. So I'm going to do that tonight. So I have got everything prepared. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous.
You're good, Chick.
Richie.
Don't talk to me.
So KJ, what have you made this enchilada dish a couple of times, or Fraser's made it a couple of times with you?
No, Fraser's made it once and he was going to do it tonight. He got a bit shy.
That's okay.
So we're ready to go.
Perfect.
It's the chicken enchilada. I've already put the water in, so I'll take you through it pretty quickly so you don't have to listen to me too long. And Richie is hosting me tonight.
Oh, we're going to go around the room.
Yeah.
All right. So chicken, what sort of chicken have you used for tonight, KJ?
I think this one's about 800. How much chicken? I think it's 800 grams.
Okay.
Yeah. 800 grams, all prepared, Richie.
Awesome. And that's chicken breast or chicken thigh?
Sorry? Chicken breast.
Oh, fantastic.
And I've put a little bit extra in because we're a big family.
Love that.
So I don't really stick to the set amount as such.
Awesome. I've just popped in the chat box the recipe that KJ is making, so you guys will be able to make this, and all the recipes from tonight we will send out in a follow-up thank you email too.
We've got 2 dogs as well. Okay, so I've just laid it into 2.
Oh, you might need your lid on there, KJ.
Oh, on the, sorry, I'm such a newbie, aren't I?
You're good.
Just this lid?
Yes.
Yeah.
So part of the recipe, you can see KJ's popped the chicken in her Veroma dish there. So we're going to be steaming that as part of the recipe first. And then we'll get on to making the rest of the filling as well.
It just goes to show anyone can do this.
100%. Okay. So how long is that going to cook there for, KJ?
So it's counting down 7 minutes if you'd like to go elsewhere.
Fantastic. We're going to shoot over to Claire, and she's going to walk us through her dish. What have you got for us, Chick?
Hi everyone, I'm Claire. As Tamara said, I'm a consultant based in Manly, also up on the coast, but it's not very sunny, and it hasn't been sunny for about a month here. I joined Thermomix October last year, so I've been with the team just over 15 months. I'm Thermo Coasty Cook if you frequent Instagram, Facebook, all the socials. Tonight I'm making a chunky bolognese. This is a really great dish because you can take, if you have leftovers, and use it in other dishes. So you could turn the leftovers into like a cottage pie, you could put it on nachos, and there's great ways of adapting the recipe as well. So I'm just going to get on and start cooking. Hopefully you can see me okay and hear me okay. Yeah?
Yeah, you're all good, check. Coming in loud and clear.
So it's just asking for 1 brown onion, approximately 150 grams. Now, sometimes in the recipes, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but it doesn't actually give you this option to scale. But beside the next button is three dots, and you can actually go straight to your scales from there. So that's just a little tip if you're wanting to make sure exactly what you're putting in is what it is. So it's asking for 1 brown onion and 1 garlic clove, but I always put 3, or a few more than what it asks for. And then I'm just going to put the lid on, and I'm going to turn that to speed 9, and it's going to chop in 3 seconds. So I might lose you for that time. So
That's cool. So while Claire's doing that, what's been your wow dish that you've made with your Thermomix that you've just been blown away with? Like if you'd never had your Thermomix, you would never attempt to make it. What's been something that's just blown you away? Oh, the pavlova wreath, delicious.
So let's just chop that all up there and there nicely in 3 seconds, and it smells really, really good. So now I'm going to ask for 20 grams of olive oil. Put that back in and tear the scales. I'm just going to pour that in now. 20 grams, a little bit over. Oh, that's one thing, I'm never 100%. I do my best. Just also tip here, make sure you scrape your lid because there's always remnants on the lid. So you want to get everything back into the bowl. Without the measuring cup, I'm just going to turn it to speed 2, and that's going to cook, it says, but it's like sauteed for 5 minutes. So, yeah.
Fantastic. So where am I gone? Ha, I'm here. Sweet. So now we're going to cross over to Liani, and she is based in Albany with me as well. And I love how active our chat box is tonight. There's some beautiful recipes coming through there, and I'm going to have to add some to my recipes and save collection. So let me just go through and find Liani. There she is. There we go.
Hi, everybody see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, hi guys, I'm Liani Jacobs, and on social media, if you don't know, I'm Liani Back to Old School. And yes, I'm based in Albany, like Tamara said, so Tamara lives quite close to me. And tonight I am making the chicken teriyaki. So this is quite a go-to for me. There's a couple of go-tos. Chunky bolognese is definitely one of them, and also chicken teriyaki because I love it. My husband loves it. My kids love it. It's a great meal, and it's easy and quick. And it's great because what you can do with chicken teriyaki is you can literally use any vegetables that you might have. So you don't always have to stick to the recipe with chicken teriyaki. You can just take whatever you've got. And it's also quite versatile. So you can make it with rice or with noodles or any other, I mean, if you really want to, mashed potatoes. I mean, there's so many different ways you can chop and change it. So you don't have to always stick with the recipe. But we're going to start off. I'm just going to get it all ready. My week cooking today. Can everybody see my Thermomix? Here we go. All right, so I've got everything ready to go. I pre-cooked my rice over here. So I just pre-cooked it on the rice rice cooking mode. So I've done that already. So that's ready to go. And now we can make everything else. So I've got 10 grams of olive oil. So what we're going to do now is we are probably going to start off with the chicken. So we are going to probably cook it on a high heat. All right, got the chicken ready to go. Next step. So it's 250 grams of skinless and boneless chicken thighs. My favorite. I love chicken thighs, especially boneless. Got a bit too much there, 300, but that's okay. There's more to feed. And then we'll be doing it with 5 minutes with your splash guard on high heat. Another great function. I love the high heat function. I love seeing that steam come through. So yes, it's 5 minutes. Do you want to go to someone else tomorrow?
I'm going to run downstairs and be really quick because my Thermomix is downstairs.
Multitasking.
So I'm going to get you to stay talking, but I'm
Okay.
going to replace the spotlight to my other screen. So 5 seconds.
Okay. All right. What I can do is I can show you guys what vegetables I've got here. So I've got some capsicum, some carrots. I've got some snow peas. I've actually stuck quite well to the recipe today. Normally with this recipe, I would just chuck any vegetables I've got in the fridge. And I even have some shallots. No, I wouldn't even normally put shallots in, but I thought today I actually had a lot of them, and a lot actually came from my veggie garden. So yes, so that's great. We can multitask there. So we've got some garlic. So for the teriyaki sauce, we're going to make it from scratch. It's got honey, garlic, some soy sauce or tamari, got some ginger, and a little bit of water and some oil, some olive oil. And then to garnish, I do coriander and some sesame seeds. I always have some sesame seeds handy because you can use it for some other staple recipes like the sticky sesame that's coming up later. Who's doing the sticky sesame tomorrow?
We were going to do that one tonight, but our presenter unfortunately had
yeah.
children to watch, but that's totally fine.
But it is quite similar to the chicken teriyaki, so that's pretty good.
Yes. All right.
So this is cooking away now. You guys can you guys see the steam coming off? I don't know if you can see the steam. I'm trying to like balance my. So that's high heat for you.
They probably can't see it, Chick, because I'm spotlighted downstairs. But
oh, yeah.
So just I'll come back to you after we get this mushroom strog on the way. So
Right.
Welcome team. I'm Tamara. I'm a team leader and consultant based in the North Shore in Albany. And in my spare time, I just cook. I'm a chef by trade. And we are making the mushroom stroganoff. So I've gone for vegetarian tonight because sometimes it's nice to have one night of a veggie meal. It's a bit cheaper on the bank as well. So yeah, we're going to get cracking with the mushroom strog. So to start, we've got a brown onion, and I've subbed that up for a red onion because I just love the flexibility in these recipes and how you can just really personalize them and make them your own. We've gone on now with some garlic cloves, and I actually peel my garlic cloves with the blade cover peeler. So if you guys don't currently have that, I suggest you get one. After you've got your cutter as a host reward, the next best thing to get is definitely that blade cover peeler. So you can start doing your poached eggs, your slow cooking, and also your peeling, which is fantastic. So we're just going to blend that now for 3 seconds on speed 7. And I can never get over how quick that is to slice. So you saw the whole onion go in, and now it's chopped it up beautifully for us. So scraping down the sides. I'm so excited for this cutter. Like imagine just having perfect ribbons of onion for your pickles, your grated potatoes for your rosties and your hash browns. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. Going in now with 40 grams of oil. So you can choose your oil here if you want to use olive oil, canola oil, or something else. And then we're going to go on with the lid and with our simmering basket because we're cooking over 95 degrees. And that is going to cook for 3 minutes at 100 degrees. Fantastic. I'm going to run back upstairs. Leonie, do you want to keep chatting?
Do you want to know if there's anyone out there, what kind of recipes is your go-to recipe? If you want to put in the chat box, if there's any like recipe that is always like a thumbs up in your family, I'd love to know more because I always want to expand my repertoire and write them down and try new recipes. So yeah, please add your recipes or anything that you love making that all the family likes, all the kids like, or just your husband likes, or any favorites in your family. That'd be really cool. Even if it's a drink, can you write that down as well? By the way, one of my favorites is the Dom Pedro. I love the Dom Pedro. I don't know if anyone knows what Dom Pedro is, but
yeah, it came up in the chat box earlier, so someone knows what that is. All right, we're going to shoot over to Claire because I believe that she has got something to show us.
some sauteed onion and garlic. So there you go. This is such a simple recipe. So now it's just asking for 700 grams of tomato passata tomatoes. So if you can't get what you're wanting, like you could buy full tomatoes, not chopped, because that would be cheaper at the supermarket, and then just chop those up before you put them in. So I'm just going to pour in 700 grams. The other way you can adapt this recipe is if you do like a bit more of a kick, you could put in some chili beans as well in the base, and that will give it a bit of a kick, but I will stick to the recipe this time. I've also put in kidney beans, black beans, just to bulk out the meal. If you don't have the full mince, that's a great way of being able to bulk out the bottom, just so long as the simmering basket can still sit in the bowl and then the lid on top. Cool, 50 grams of tomato paste, put that in. So I actually have leftover tomato paste, so I'm just going to freeze those in cubes so I don't waste it. 30 grams of water, straight in. 20 grams of Worcestershire sauce. I can never say that one. If you're trying to make this gluten-free, just make sure your sauce is gluten-free as well. 1 tablespoon of meat stock. So this is, I don't have meat stock. This is the chicken stock paste that I make in Thermomix. So you can sub in either the chicken stock paste or the veggie stock paste, whatever you've got. So I'd ask for 1 tablespoon. I'm just going to be a little bit generous on that one. 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. So that's about right. Basil. Should have pre-weighed these ones. These are actually the yogurt jars from the mix shop. And you can turn them into spice jars. You can buy the lids, and they're really good because they're 120 mils. So you can keep a decent amount in there. Just putting in a little bit of cinnamon and a few dried chili flakes. So if you're not wanting the spice, the kids aren't into spice, or you're not into spice, then just omit that. Salt and pepper, straight in. And we're going to put the simmering basket into the bowl. So I've pre-done this just to save a little bit of time, but the mince is in there. So what you would normally do is you would put the simmering basket in, and then you would actually then put in your mince, weigh it in, and then you will put on the lid, put the measuring cup in for this one, and it's going to cook for 15 minutes. So this is a really great recipe because there's 2 cooks of 15 minutes, but you can leave it. So for the first 15 minutes, I usually go and do a few jobs and then come back and then just put it on for another 15. Because of the way it is, I'm actually going to be, in the second cook, I'm going to be doing some zucchini noodles. So using the Verona, they're more like kind of lasagna things. They don't have a zoodle machine, and I'm not buying one because I'm getting a cutter in 2 weeks, or whenever they come. So yeah, so I'm just going to put that on for 15 minutes, and that's going to cook away.
Nice work, Chick. And yeah, we are not going to need to peel anything or grate anything by hand with this new cutter coming. So we're going to shoot over to Fiona and see how she's going over there with her choux pastry.
Yeah, hey guys. So whilst I didn't have you on screen, the next thing to do was to put some flour in there, and then it's just a really quick mix. So that's what I've done. I put the flour in, and here it is, a quick mix. And it's now asked to leave it to cool down for 10 minutes. So I'm at 8 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Right, so I'm just going to put that back in. So I've set aside in the mixing bowl to cool for 10 minutes. So I hit the next button. I've preheated my oven to 200 degrees, and I have lined my baking tray with paper, and I've set that aside. And without the measuring cup, with that on, it says here to turn the speed selector to 5, meanwhile follow the next steps. So what I'm going to be doing is cracking eggs and adding 1 egg in at a time. So as you see, I've got 1 egg ready here to go. I like to crack my eggs into a bowl beforehand, just in case any shell, you don't want shell in there. So whilst this is turning, oops, wrong one. And three each one at a time through the hole. So, no, I don't want to do that. So that's what I love about this recipe, is I can go back if I stuffed it up without the measuring cup. Yes. Do it again. I need to click on the button to make sure that I'm turning the right one. Turning that to 5. Next thing. The next button. Hit the next button. Insert the measuring cup now. Here's the measuring cup. And it's going to do 30 seconds on 5. So if you can bear with me for the 30 seconds, I'll show you what it ends up looking like.
I think we can do for recipe. So normally with this recipe, for example, a choux pastry, you would be at the stove for maybe 20, 25, 30 minutes, just constantly making sure it's not burning, you've cooked out the water enough, and then cooling it down, and then having to actually combine that egg and make sure it's not going to overcook in anything. So I love the ease of just being able to chuck it all in this machine. It's perfect every time. And I love that Fiona's been able to alternate it to make it gluten-free and dairy-free as well.
Fantastic. Right, so that's all done. I can show you my lovely choux pastry now.
What are you watching?
It asks me to put it into a piping bag. Again, I want to show you how simple some things can be. I know it's really great to, you know, that sometimes some of these recipes make us look like fantastic cooks. But if I'm out of time, I want to make this nice and quick. Then I just take my spoon and I essentially just push it off my spoon on like that. Another one so you can see, just again on the spoon and onto my sheet.
You were just making that look so easy, Fiona.
So as you can see, they kind of look like blobs. Sorry, the lighting in here. So they look like a little bit of like half blobby type things, but it's in there just like, you know, it doesn't have to look absolutely perfect. So I'm going to put those onto my sheet and put them into the oven at 200. They need 25 minutes to cook. So we'll go back to the other girls and we'll look at those for seeing how they're going, and then we can come back to me and finish up the dessert.
Amazing. And I can see you've got a few mix-up items behind you there too in your corner.
I do.
Yeah.
What
have you got?
Yes, I went out especially and got myself a little shelf to put everything in. So I've got the pancake
Cupcake pen.
cupcake thingy, tubs to make ice cream and things with. I've got my bowls, my heat warm bowls, my mats. Yes, it's nice little setup.
Awesome display. And just a reminder, team, if you guys are shopping on the Mix Shop, make sure you pop your consultant's name in there so that they can follow that tracking for you and make sure your goods get to you nice and easy too. Over to Liani.
Hey guys, so the chicken is all cooked up. So I'm just going to take it out as it go, all cooked. I'm just going to pop it in my thermoserver over here. And I'm actually going to make sure that all those juices underneath goes in as well. So I'm just going to pop it in there. And the thermoserver. Okay. Close that up. And then it's asking me to retain juices in the mixed bowl and cover together. And then Where did I see? Oh, the next step was scrape the base of the mixing bowl. So that's just from any caramelization from the chicken that gets stuck down the bottom. So just kind of scrape that away. Right. Next step is put in your 30 grams of eschalots, your 100 grams of capsicum. I've pre-measured all these ones just to save us some time today, and 50 grams of carrots and matchsticks. So I've just kind of cut them thinly. I might wait to get my cutter. Then I don't have to do that anymore. And then I've got my snow peas. We've got 30 grams of snow peas in the bowl, 120 grams of broccoli. All my veggies are a little bit over, but that should be all good. And then a little bit of oil. So you can do coconut oil or olive oil or whatever oil you prefer to cook with. I've just got some olive oil today. So everything's inside the bowl. Just chucked it in. And then we're going to put on this fresh guard, and there we go, for another 5 minutes. Ready to go.
Oh, amazing. So thanks, Leonie. We are going to cross over now to our KJ. I'm just going to try and find her. Where's she going? Where's your video, Miss KJ? Where's she? She's getting ready. I've just raced downstairs to go do the next part of my mushroom dish. So we have chucked in some flour. So if you remember, we were doing the sauteed garlic and onion in the oil. And then I've gone through now and put a mixture of mushrooms. So we've got Swiss brown, portobello, a bit of shiitake, and just the white button. We've gone in with some flour, some paprika, tomato paste, white wine. And now that's just cooking for 5 minutes, which is great. I can't see KJ, so we might cross over back to Claire and see how she's going.
Hello. So we've got about 5 minutes to go on the cook. So if I wasn't here, I probably would have gone off and done something. I do know that those with kids actually put this on before school pickup. And then once it gets to that 15-minute cook, after it's done the first 15-minute cook, if you're not at the machine for 15 minutes, it will shut down. So it's a great way of just being able to get dinner on and then just finishing it off when you get back home. So yeah, I've still got another 5 minutes and then another 15. So I've got a wee while to go. Yeah. So with the aroma, I'll put that on in the last 15-minute cook because it is at 120 degrees, so it is quite high in temperature. So we don't want to overcook them into mush. And yeah, that's about it from me.
My voice is gone. All right, we've got the lovely KJ back. We're going to cross over to her. One moment, caller. All right, KJ, you're live.
Yep, I'm here.
What
Sorry.
What are we looking
I
at
could
right
hear
now?
you. No, I could hear you guys. So I'm at the stage, I've cooked the chicken and I'm about to transfer it to a bowl.
Okay,
So I'm just going to pass it to Richie.
perfect. How's it smelling over there? Awesome. So KJ's been steaming this chicken here for about 16 minutes, I think. It's got two 8 cooks.
Sorry, I'm not that good.
You're good. Oh, we've lost her. Okay, we'll wait for her to come back. We might have lost the Might have lost the video there, but that's all good. I just wanted to just put it out there. Those owners that we do have on, have you ever considered earning a second machine? What's better than a Thermomix? 2 Thermomixes. It's great to be able to do multi-prep at the same time, and also share the love with more people. It's a great way to earn an extra income if you don't want to earn a second machine. If you just want to jump on and get some more income and get the new products to the mix shop even earlier, it's a really cool side hustle. Or if you're like me and love the connection, Claire that's on tonight, she's become like my new bestie, so we've gone through a lot of stuff together, so it's quite cool to find like-minded people and real life friends in this business as well. So if you've ever thought about it, we've got information sessions that run twice a week. There's one on a Thursday, there's one on a Sunday. What's the worst that could happen? Jump on, have a listen. Who knows, it might spark something for you for new 2023, and lots of opportunities with us here. So I'm going to pick on one of my consultants, Liani. What, we can double team. What made you join the business?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. First of all, I wanted to try to earn my machine and not have to pay for it. That was something that motivated me, and I wanted to share the Thermomix love with people because I got so passionate about Thermomix and what the company and the business stands for, and yeah, just loved everything about it. So I was very keen on sharing the love of Thermomix with everybody. So I thought, oh, why not earn money from it? So after I've earned the machine, why can't I make it a side hustle or income from it? So yeah, that's pretty much what motivated me.
I love that. And why not? You may as well get paid for talking about it if you can, right?
Yeah, talking nonstop, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to run downstairs because I just heard my Thermomix go. So just hold the line. And we're back in the room. Okay. So, as I said earlier, I can just walk you through exactly what's gone into this. So, we had the onions and garlic with the oil. Then I've gone in and added my veggie stock paste. So, like Claire, I also make my own paste with the Thermomix, and it's a great way to use up all your odds and ends of your vegetables. You know, things just keep getting more and more expensive, so if we can make more out of what we're buying, then we should. So, veggie stock paste. 50 grams of tomato paste, 40 grams of white wine. If you don't really like wine, just go in with a bit of water, that's totally fine. 2 teaspoons of plain flour, but we're using gluten-free flour tonight. 1 teaspoon of paprika, 20 grams of lemon juice, and then a whole heap of mushrooms. So we've gone in now with about 300 grams of mushrooms, and that's cooked with the simmering basket on for 5 minutes. And this is what we're looking like. It's quite dark now, so quite thick. And now we're just going to go in with the remainder of the mushrooms. So we've got another 200 grams of Swiss browns, some portobellos, and some other mushrooms as well. And I've pre-made the mashed potatoes for 2 in the Thermomix as well. And so when my beautiful mushroom stroganoff is ready, we are going to be serving that on top of a beautiful silky mash. So it's asking for 100 grams of sour cream now. And I'm so excited. I've just found these packets at the supermarket of the sour cream. And like, if anyone buys sour cream, it's normally in those little containers, and you use a scoop of it and then you don't use it for a couple of days and then it goes off and it's not very good. But this is genius. It's like those little pouches for baby food that you can buy as well. But there are ways to make your own cheeses and even sour cream in your Thermomix. So if you haven't yet, I really recommend getting brave and venturing into that field. So this is going to cook now for another 5 minutes at 100 degrees with the simmering basket on, and then we'll just be serving up. So Claire Dorset, how are you looking?
Nice timing. It's just literally finished just before. And so all it's asking me to do now is to stir the mince with the spatula just to mince it round a bit. So I will just try and show you without spilling it on you. So you can kind of see some of the flavour from the bowl has come up. I'm just going to go in and kind of break that up so that it's well mixed, and try and not spill it all over the bench like I just did. You guys are messy cooks or clean cooks? I have to clean as I go. So another tip with this one is just make sure you do break up your mince quite well when you put it in originally, just to make sure that it will cook through in the time. And then it's just going to go back on for another 15 minutes. So it's a super easy recipe. For this part, I'm going to take the measuring cup out and put the aroma. So I've just got my zucchinis on there. And it's going to turn it to speed 2 and let that do its thing for another 15 minutes.
Fantastic. And I love that you could do kind of whatever vegetables steaming while you're making this dish. The more you can use your Varoma team, the more you're going to get out of your Thermomix. So what else could you be cooking at the same time? There's a couple of layered dinners that we can do. There's also, I just saw a consultant today, there's like a meal prep sort of thing on Cookie Dough where you do your steamed eggs, you steam your salmon, and you cook chicken at the same time, or boil eggs, steam chicken and cook salmon at the same time, or something like that. It's crazy. Okay, we've got KJ back, so we're going to shoot over to her.
Okay. Am I on now?
You are, my love.
Okay, so what I've done is I've finished the chicken. Now I've got the cheese in. Richie Bear. Now there's another 3 minutes before I'm at the next stage tomorrow. Would you like to cross to someone else? But I've got the chicken sitting aside seasoned. I'm just doing the cheese and then I'll be ready to go again.
Yeah, cool. So we can stay with you for a little bit. So what made you want to join the business, KJ?
Slightly unusual story. I went to the AMP show in Gisborne and my girlfriend Ingrid had said to me she had a Thermomix and her bread wasn't rising. So I turned up at the AMP show with Bridget, lovely lady who was a team leader, she's not now, and I said my girlfriend's got a problem. She did a voicemail so I could send it to her. That was the Saturday. So on the Sunday I went back and I said I'm going to sell these, and I have. I've just earned my Thermomix for free, having had 4 sales, so I'm happy as. And then I was lucky enough to meet you, Claire, and Tamara, who I think of as daughters. Thank you.
happy to be your adopted daughter every day. And I love that you got inspired by your friend to join the business too. That's just awesome.
Honestly, I'm not even a chef. My boy who cooked the enchiladas, so he's probably spent more time at the machine than me, but I've made the beautiful shortbread, but I did it with macadamia and cranberries and gifted it to people for Christmas. Oh, I'm not a chef. I'm so not a chef, but I'm happy.
Well, I think that's the good thing about this machine is it takes, like even me as a chef, and everyone has this conception that I know all the things food, I do everything, you know. So for me, like I even still get inspired by the recipes that are on this machine and what's capable, and expanding my knowledge and just trying new things. And I love that it even gets the home cook out there and excited as well. Yeah.
Tamara, I've given you a special ding on my phone. And when it dings, I get so excited. So thank you. Thank you.
How long have
I've got about a minute, and I'm past the cheese stage, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Is there any questions with our guests on tonight that we can help you with as consultants? Are you having any issues? Have you had a recipe not quite work out? and you need a bit of love and support to fix that and reignite your passion with your machine, how can we help? Feel free to come off mute if you want to, or just pop it in the chat box.
Can you hear me?
I can. Who have we got?
Oh,
We've got Anne.
Hi, Anne. I've just got a question for Fiona. I have a daughter who follows a gluten-free diet through necessity, and I looked at the choux pastry and I thought the texture seems really lovely, and wondering what flour she used. Fiona, please.
Hold on, she's just going to grab it for you, and I'll get her to unmute. This is quite cool. We should do this more. Just unmute.
Oh yeah, I buy that. And that was what you used tonight.
Unmute. There you go, you can hear me now. So this is what I've used tonight. This is the Edmonds shorter rice, and they do a gluten-free, and this is a plain flour, and they also do a self-raising flour.
Yes. No.
So I've only just come on board before Christmas as a consultant, so this is my first night showing my machine.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten around to trying my own flours yet, milling it, my own rice, but I want to get into that so that I can get away from buying this packet stuff.
Yeah.
But at the moment, this is what I'm using. I really like this one, and the Bakels one are really good.
Right. One question, because for years I've been doing gluten-free cooking for her with varied results. I do find if you're using gluten-free flour, it's more dry and you have to add a bit more liquid. Do you have to add an extra egg or something if you're doing gluten-free flour? No.
I've never had to. No,
Oh,
I've pretty much substitute like for like in all of my recipes.
I had a terrible instance at Christmas. I made 2 of my regular fruitcakes, and they were both in the oven at the same time. One was gluten-free flour and one was not. And the gluten-free one went a bit singed around the edges and was dry as old boots, and yet the same recipe apart from the flour. So it was a bit of a
again.
That might have to do with where they were.
One I've made earlier. It's still wrapped up. I haven't had a chance to actually, I've just taken it out the freezer. I haven't had a chance to ice it, but this is my gluten and dairy-free Christmas cake that I kind of just didn't do for Christmas. But it didn't. I'll open it.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Oh no, I've got it out because I need to actually ice. I actually need to ice it and give it to the kids. So my son won't eat it because he doesn't like fruit.
There's a lot of that around the kids.
But as you can see,
oh no, that's fine. Yes,
it is a flat cake because I use plain flour, but it's absolutely fine around the edges and it's quite nice and moist.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So it's made with gluten-free flour and it's dairy-free as well.
Love that.
Okay. Thank you.
Mara, can I say something? I have made the lemon meringue cake gluten-free. I have found that I had to add a bit of extra butter. Because mine was very dry. So I made one gluten-free and I made one that's not gluten-free. So I just added extra butter and it made a huge difference to the texture. So I don't know if that could help you in any way, but I just added a little bit of extra oil butter just to get it a bit more moist.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, Leonie. That's super helpful. We're going to cross back to KJ because she's ready to go now. Thank you.
Thank you.
So where am I at? I've got cheese and bits and pieces done. So I'm at the stage where I'm putting 50 grams of spring onions into, I don't know how big I'm meant to cut them, but let's have a look. Richie, you could be my person to talk. Okay, so 50 grams of spring onions, coriander, so I've got that here. you can see I'm new at this, but I've just put the spring onions, coriander, ready to go again.
You're doing a fantastic job, KJ. Very, very brave in this space.
I'm a newbie. Okay, so transfer to another bowl. Now I'm just going next again. 100 grams red peppers. So I'm just using my other bowl that I got for $29.
You're very lucky. So that deal's just finished.
I know, so lucky. I'll just tear that. I've got everything pretty much ready to go. We'll see how we go. Oh, look at that. A perfect 101 grams. So that's the red pepper. 50 grams of tomatoes. And I've just got whatever tomatoes were there.
Not too much.
Right. What I love about Thermomix is it doesn't have to be accurate. So Richie's cut up the red onion. Tamara, I've got garlic cloves in olive oil, or should I use the ones that I've got in the
Olive
skin?
oil is fine. Olive oil is fine.
Perfect.
Yep. So you can pretty much just do whatever you've got, and we're gonna still get a really good recipe too.
Perfect.
There's lots of love coming through for you in the group, in the message chat, KJ. Lots of support. Everyone's loving what you're doing.
I've lost my chilies. I've got my chilies. Okay, we're on to the red, lovely chilies. I'm leaving the seeds in because I like it a bit hot.
Yeah, you do.
Hot like you, Tamara, my
Oh.
model friend.
Cool. So while KJ's blending that up, we're just going to shoot over quickly and see what Liani's up to.
I'm sorry, I don't have much commentary, but I've just switched the bowls out. So I did the cheese, and then I've done the garlic cloves and everything in the same bowl, and I just alternate them.
Perfect, check. I'm going to just catch up with Liani for 10 seconds, and we're going to see how her...
Okay, take your time. I'm in no hurry.
Hey guys, so vegetables are all done. I'm just going to pop them in the thermos server with the chicken. So basically the chicken and vegetables are all cooked now. So all I have left to do is the teriyaki sauce. So that's what we'll do now. So it's saying to scrape the base of the mixing bowl well with the spatula and just basically deglaze a little bit from the caramelization. Okay, and then I don't think you clean the mixer bowl. Just check. No cleaning. And so just go straight into, otherwise I would have used my second bowl, which would have been quite handy, but I don't need to today. So we've got 10 grams of fresh ginger. Then we have got 10 grams of garlic peeled with the peeler. And then insert, this is going to be a very quick chop. Sorry if it's loud. 6 seconds. Scrape down the sides. And then you can put in your soy sauce. So we've got 70 grams of tamari or soy sauce. in the bowl. 30 grams of honey. I don't know why the measurements, I pre-measured everything and somehow everything is so much more now than it was before, but anyway. 30 grams of honey. It's actually honey that I got from my friend's honey that they have made themselves. 2 teaspoons of gluten-free flour. I've just used some maize corn flour. 2 teaspoons of water. And then simmering basket on the top. And that will go 3 minutes at 100 degrees. 3.5. So 3 minutes cooking away.
Awesome.
I got teriyaki sauce.
Thank you. And I've just got Claire. She doesn't know we've just crossed over, but she's there. And she's finished her dish as well.
Hello. So I've just put they're not really zoodles. They're kind of, what would you call them, Tamara?
I would call them a colacetta pappardelle.
Zucchinis. And I've just got my mince in here. So just always use your spatula to lift this because it is hot. So you can see it's got your mince. So what I need to do, and I haven't got organised for this, is I need to actually take the mince out and then put it into a bowl and cover it with the sauce. So I'm just in my Thermomix store. Sorry about the noise, team. So when I do this, hopefully this works, I use the spatula and I pull it out. And if I'm not feeling confident, I sometimes will just put it on the lid. But if I'm all good, I'll just go straight out and just dump it into the Thermomix server if it wants to. It's a little bit of a movement there. So once that's done, just put that back on the lid and keep it tidy. And then that's your sauce there. I don't want to chuck it at you. And so you just break up your mince and then you pour your sauce over. And that's your bolognese. So super easy, super quick. I saw someone said in the chat that they don't have leftovers, but if you did have leftovers, you could, I said earlier, make it into nachos. It's a really great meal to make in bulk and freeze. And yeah, also just on the gluten-free baking, I was just racking my brain. Brown sugar is more moist than white sugar. So if you're having problems with dryness, try and swap out to brown sugar. And what Liani said was correct about adding extra oil. So if you can add like applesauce or some sort of fruits, that will also stop that drying out, because I do gluten-free and dairy-free as well. Hopefully that helps.
That's a great tip. Thanks, Claire. And I wouldn't have knew that off the top of my head too. So fantastic. We're going to check back with KJ and see how she's going, because I feel like she's ready to roll on her enchiladas. Nope, you're on mute, Chicky. Nearly got it. All right, and if you can unmute her, please, Rich.
Okay.
Got it.
So all I've done since I was offline is I've added the sour cream and the garlic. I've got a question, Tamara. I haven't got lime juice. Can I just leave it out?
Of course you can.
Yep, okay. So that's where I'm up to at the chicken. So the chicken goes in the bowl, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yep, okay. This is quite nerve-wracking being online.
You ripped the Band-Aid off.
It wasn't to work. If it didn't work, I could throw it out. So I'm trusting the machine. Spring onion. So it's a spring onion from this bowl? Yeah. Sorry, I don't talk much because I'm concentrating.
You're doing fine.
I haven't got paprika either, so I'll just go next. And I haven't got the chipotle.
That's okay. So if you wanted to add a bit more smoke,
I have given it plenty of salt. I'll give it another burst.
yeah.
And I've done plenty of pepper.
Perfect. So that's our mix getting mixed up there for our enchiladas. And then KJ is going to get on the rolling. And we're going to cross over to Fiona, and she's going to show us how her shoe has turned out.
Cool.
KJ, I'm just going to cross over to
Okay,
Fiona.
we'll see you soon.
Good. Here she
Hey
is.
guys, so we're all done. We've baked for 20 to 25 minutes. I've left them to just started to go brown on the top. Then the next step is actually to turn the oven off, get a skewer and poke them, which I've done. This is just to let the steam out, and then I put them back into my oven, but I've left the door on, I've turned it off just to dry out for 10 minutes. And voila, look at these. What? Don't they look amazing? You can all see that I haven't cooked the dinner tonight. This is what I'm having. So I'm just going to let them cool there for a moment. Now, as I've said, I'm not gluten and dairy free, but my children are, because they're both intolerant. So as a mum, I have sort of catered for them. I'm going to come and grab my other bowl again, chuck it in here, because normally what we'd do with chocolate eclairs is have something like, you know, the good old canned cream or whipped cream or something or other. Here's a little concoction I have made up earlier. So I saw all in the chat before, we were talking about cashew sour cream. So as you noticed, that I kind of like my alcohol type side of things. So, but you don't have to put the brandy in this, but there is actually, I'm just going to finish this recipe because I'm done now, fill and serve. And on my next recipe, I'm going to make a brandy cashew cream. So I've put all the ingredients in a cup with the cashews because I like my cashews to sort of sit and soak. If you put cashews in straight away, they can make a really good, nice cashew cream, but I like them to soak for a little bit, and especially with the brandy and the water, it makes a really nice, makes it nice and creamy. So to make a brandy cashew cream, now again, there's only me here, I don't have the kids this time, and I wouldn't put brandy in for the kids. So I've only made half the recipe, and this is with the cashew nuts. So I've put them in here, I've weighed it all out in here, and then I've put them in my little bowl with my cashew nuts, my brandy, pure maple syrup. Yum, yum, yum. And what else do we have? We have some natural vanilla extract in there and some water. So I've done all of that and I've put it in here and I've just let it soak that little bit more. So I'm going to throw everything into my mix, just like that. Go in. Okay. I use my spatula because it's really good at getting everything out.
I'm so impressed with your shoe. They're awesome.
I love my spatula. And then it's really simple. Put the lid on. Next, 30 seconds at 9. So again, sorry, going to be a little bit loud. It's done. So it didn't take the whole 30 seconds. You can actually hear that it stopped being able to chop everything. So I'm just going to take that off my lid. You can kind of see that it's still chunky. I'm just going to scrape with my beautiful scraper. I love this thing. It fits so perfectly into my bowl. Oh, you should smell this. And I did only put, I put the right amount of brandy. I didn't put the brandy. I was a good girl this time. I'm just going to do that, and I'll put that back into there. And I'm just going to go around here and get all that goodness off the lid. Perfect. Put that back in. And the great thing with this is then it's telling me scrape down the sides of the bowl, insert the measuring cup, and off we go again. We'll try this one again. So sometimes it's just about listening to your machine and listening to if it's all finished and done and it's not cutting much. So again, I haven't made this one before, but it's still quite a little bit chunky. So I would probably mill this 3 or 4 different times to get it into a really nice smooth consistency that you would see with the cream. But just because we're here, I'm not going to do that. So other thing that I've got here, I haven't got ready. So is my little chalky drops to make the chocolate on the eclair. So these are, this is a vegan milk chocolate. So it's gluten, dairy free, nut free. It's absolutely fantastic. You can get it as a chocolate packet like this, but you can also get it in little choc drops. So I'm just going to throw a few of my choc drops. I don't have many because I have got an 11-year-old daughter who absolutely loves chocolate. I'm just going to throw those in the microwave to melt out.
Has anyone tried melting chocolate in their Thermomix as well? You can temper your chocolate in there too.
Here is my, oh, this. Look at the inside of that.
That's so good.
How simple was it to make that? And then obviously, just with this, oh God. A little bit of cashew cream on the inside of there. And then drizzle it with chocolate.
That is gorgeous. Fantastic.
They're amazing. So really simple to make. Cashew cream in my Thermomix, absolutely love it. And it's going to bang. So there's my chocolate. Easy to quickly melt. My chocolate drops, nice and melted. So it's, I just get them, dunk them in.
Oh my
And
gosh.
there's my chocolate.
That looks delicious.
Just like
Oh,
that.
so good. All right, we're going to cross to Liani. Thank you so much, Fiona, and I hope you are going to share some of those.
I've got
That
one
looks-
to share them with.
That looks so good, Fiona. Can you like courier me some? I'm only in Albany, down the road from you, right? I might just hop over. Milford's only 10 minutes away. So I actually already poured my sauce. So these are sauce. What I love about this is sometimes I didn't actually cut my ginger very fine. So I like my ginger and my garlic a little bit more chunky in the sauce, but you can actually cut it, and then the machine also chops it. So it just depends on how much you want, but I've done that. So I put it over my dish and I've garnished it with some fresh spring onions. I just quickly ran to the garden, got some spring onions, some sesame seeds, and some coriander. So that's me for dinner, guys.
That looks beautiful.
Yummy, yummy.
And I quickly ran downstairs and plated this up while you guys were busy. So my background's probably not going to let me do it. But I've got the mashed potato on the one side, and we've got the mushroom strog on the other side, and I've just chucked a couple of chives on top. And we're going to cross over to KJ and see how she's going. Hold on, she's on mute. There you go. You're good.
Sorry, I'm just getting my director. He's coming now.
He's so patient. What a good director. I hope he's going to enjoy his dinner tonight.
I'm not sure what I did next tomorrow. Did I add the sour cream and the chives?
Yeah, you're good. So you've made all
Yeah.
your fillings.
Okay. So I'm at the stage. My husband bought me this when I did a potato bake once. No, it was in a different dish. But tonight I'm using the dish for the first time.
Lovely.
So I'll just divide this up, and I'm just going to roll them and put them in the plate. Is that
Yep.
right?
Correct.
Thanks. Miss Chef. And I'm just going to do it loose because time's the saviour, yeah?
Yeah, you're good.
And I might even layer them so I've got some on top of each other. Easy as. I mean, look at that for bloody perfect meal.
You look like you've done this before.
Just the cheapest tin of tomatoes.
Yeah. And this is a
Right,
really
and
great
now
dish
just-
to make in advance as well. If you wanted to meal prep during the week, just get it done and out the way.
Yes. You are so clever, Tamara. I'm not actually going to cook it tonight. This is tomorrow night's dinner.
I love that.
I was so scared about doing this. I said to
Aw.
Richard, I don't think I can. And he said, no, you can.
You
And I
can.
did. Can of tomatoes.
Oh, I'm so impressed. So you
It's
won't
from
be baking
meeting
this-
you, Miss Chef.
Thank you. You
From
won't be
meeting
baking this
you,
tonight.
I know I can do this. And that's it.
I love it.
So-
Are you baking this tonight, Chick, or is this going in the fridge for tomorrow?
No, this will be in the fridge for tomorrow. I don't know what the husband fed the boys tonight. What they have, Richie?
You were there, sausages.
We had sausages and they were beautiful.
Oh, lovely. Look at that, team. Well done, KJ. Massive congrats to you for being brave and presenting your first dish tonight. Well done. Alrighty.
Oh, and I've got the cheese to put on.
Okay.
Thank you for listening. Please mute me and I'll just watch from now.
You're great. Awesome. So where's she going? There we go. Guys, thank you so much for spending your last hour and 23 minutes with us. We'd loved having you on. This chat box has been so great and I feel like I've got a lot out of it and I know my team has as well. Pop in the chat box something you learned today or something you want to go and try. I'd love to keep inspiring you guys and we hopefully will see you at the next virtual demo. We'll be sending an email out with all of the recipes and also when our next one's coming up and events in your areas too. Go and get your consultant, grab them, shake them, get that cutter on your bench before anyone else. It's only going to be available as a host reward. There's no date to when you're going to be able to purchase it. So go get in touch with them, find out how to get one, have a demo, and maybe get one for free. Well, thanks guys so much. We're going to start leaving people from the team. But I hope you had a great night and go eat something yum.